What's up, guys? I got these new wrist straps from Clarksville Barbell Club. Um, Shout out my man Brad, aka Brian Nielsen, top secret government agent, Mr. Good Talk. He sent me some wrist straps. He sent me two pairs. These are the softer pair. I prefer softer pairs. Honestly, I've never even used wrist straps that are this length either. I've used like little short ends or ones that are soft, but I'm gonna keep those soft ones. He sent me a stiff pair too, giggity. Maybe I'll be giving those away or something. We'll see. Anyway, it brought up a good point, a good topic of conversation with in regards to equipment and BandAids versus tools. Okay, so me and Alex briefly talked about it. He asked me about like sleeves and elbow sleeves, knee sleeves, wraps, and stuff like that. If that was quote unquote more important than load management, and load management is 1,000 times more important in my opinion. That's not to say that these things can't be of assistance in helping you increase your longevity. They're just not nearly as important, and that's I wanted to make the point of tools versus a band-aid. A band-aid is just covering up a problem. A tool is thoughtfully using something to assist in your training. So if you have a sore elbow for whatever reason, overuse, whatever the case may be, and you put a sleeve on it. This is a knee sleeve, not an elbow sleeve, but whatever. You put a sleeve on your elbow. That's a band-aid. You're not solving whatever the problem is. You're not looking at your training, or maybe it's something that you're doing in your daily life. Maybe you need to switch it up and a little stranger action. Whatever the case may be, you need to look at what the problem is and address the problem and not, put a band-aid on it. Now, in regards to your programming, if you want to bench press with elbow sleeves on or overhead press with elbow sleeves on, and they do provide some compression and help keep you warm, and that, allows you to train more effectively, more efficiently, allows you to get in more volume and you don't get sore because of it. The help and warmth it provides. That's fantastic. You can't. You still have to be aware of your programming, of course. Sleeves are not going to protect you from overuse, overtraining. Like I said, they may provide some warmth, some compression, and allow you to train more effectively within the realm of what's effective training, give or take. But they're not going to allow you to just they're not a shield of protection, if you will. Like it's not. I can go do infinity reps and infinity weight now because I've got some sleeves on. That's not. They're not going to allow that. So don't let them give you a false sense of confidence. Like if they are confidence inspiring, that's great. Just don't let them think that you're bulletproof. So, they're a tool. Again, tool. They can help increase longevity. For a competitor, all right, you'll have this camp of people that saying, "Oh, you should never use straps when you deadlift. You should never use elbow sleeves because they're not allowed in competition." There's some give and take to that as well. All right, so they're not allowed in competition, obviously. But in your off season, if your grip goes and you're not getting more deadlift volume or heavier deadlift reps or more effective reps of deadlift because your grip is limiting you, then you're missing out on potential gains and an increased 1 rep max in your deadlift. I would use straps. That's like the thing to do. You don't want to miss out on the deadlift volume because your grip's giving out. Your grip tends to go in a fatigue manner before it goes in like a 1 rep strength manner for the most part if you're using like an over-under grip. Most people do not have grip issues on deadlift. You do enough work with deadlifts. You can warm up double overhand. You can do some static holds with some of your top sets. And when you're doing other upper back work, be it pull-ups or cable machines and stuff, you're grabbing things all the time. You really only see grip issues with bigger competitors, and that's more puffy hands and or short stubby fingers, a combination of the both, causing the grip issues, not necessarily a weak grip. So don't be afraid to use straps, even if you're a competitor. Same with elbow sleeves in your off season. If it allows you to get some more volume and feel more comfortable, that's fine. I would certainly drop them during meet prep. If you're an older, experienced lifter, disregard that. You know your body, you know what you can do. If you can, elbow sleeves allow you to go on all the way up through your prep and remain relatively healthy, and you can drop them and you know the correlation, by all means. Newer lifters, if you want to use them to potentially help your longevity, keep you warm, safe, whatever, I would drop them during meet prep though, because they are not allowed during meet. Knee sleeves, again, another tool. Compression, they keep you warm, they make you feel good. Maybe there's a placebo effect. These old style SBD sleeves, you can get them as tight as you want. Maybe they're going to add 5 or 10 pounds to your squat, maybe. But otherwise, like I said, they're just there to keep you warm. And again, I tore my meniscus wearing knee sleeves. It's not going to stop you from doing stupid shit and going too far when you shouldn't. Now, these modern sleeves of this new material, it's still neoprene, but they made it some thick way. Like, these things are, like, it takes effort to, these will probably add weight to your squat. They're a whole different animal. Like, I cut my finger putting them on, and this is like 2 weeks old. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I'm just showing my cut there. But then you get into knee wraps. Knee wraps are a tool for overload. There's not really anything safety related there. I guess you could potentially say a very, very loose light wrap, but I would just get knee sleeves in that case. Again, just to keep you warm and all that stuff. Belts. If you got this sweet custom pumpkin spice latte belt, you got PSL like me, super awesome. Again, that's not a safety tool, in my opinion. That is a tool for bracing and overload. The first time I wore a belt without ever having worn one before on my squats, the most I'd ever squatted was 570. I squatted beltless. And I got a belt, and I absolutely smoked 575 like a month after hurting my back. So I would venture to say that most people, you should learn how to brace, of course, without a belt. A belt helps cueing the brace, but most people, if they just squatted beltless, would be safer, because you're going to have potentially less load on your body over time, in my humble opinion. I'm not a scientist or a doctor. But again, it's one of those things. It's a tool and not a Band-Aid. Like, don't throw on a belt thinking, oh, this is going to protect my back, because trust me, I've yeeted my back with a belt on. It is an overload tool, in my opinion. It's going to cue that brace. You're going to be able to brace better and harder against it. And particularly on squats, it's going to allow you to squat more weight. So it's kind of the gist of what I wanted to say. I probably could have said this in like 2 or 3 minutes, but I tend to ramble on here like I'm doing now. Just know that your programming and load management is always going to be paramount and the most important thing in regards of staying injury free and being able to train successfully for a long period of time. But there are tools that can assist you in maintaining that health and longevity. Just don't use them as a Band-Aid. Don't use them to cover up weaknesses. Don't, short of being like right next to a competition, we do stupid things for that. But in terms of just general training and longevity, again, let these be tools to assist you. Don't let them be Band-Aids to cover up a problem instead of fixing the problem. Peace.